All right, so thank you so much for participating in our pre-arrival webinars on undergrad student on-campus involvement. Before we go into the actual content of today, we want to just have a few things mentioned ahead of time. So for the webinar, this webinar series is a webinar series that are provided to incoming international students, and it will help prepare incoming international students to arrange arrival plan for traveling and living in Iowa City, understand the orientation, expectation, and responsibilities, transition to student life and academics at Iowa. These webinars will all be recorded, and then we will post them on our website after we transcribe them. So if you have missed part of the webinars, or if you want to listen to the webinars again afterwards, you can always find them on our website. And it's just going to be the same website that you are signing up for the webinars. And we will let you know once we have them posted. So during the webinars, if you encounter any technical difficulties, please let us know in the chat function, and Michael will help us resolve those. And if you have any questions related to today's topics, please use the Q&A function to post your questions. We will have some time to answer them live at the end. Something about I-20 and DS 2019. If you haven't gotten your documents yet, you can pay your eShip Global fee, and then we'll ship your documents to you right away. And the information can be found on the pre-arrival checklist in IHOP. Some important timelines. So May 1st is coming up for the undergraduate admission acceptance deadline. And as for orientation, it's mandatory for all international students and for all students. But the international student orientation, the undergrad international student orientation is going to be from August 12th to August 19th. All right, so now for the introduction part. So my name is Shu Hui Lin, but I go by Lin by my last name. I'm the coordinator for international student support and engagement with both the international students and scholar services and the Center for Student Involvement and Leadership. And we have a few current international students here with us today to share their experience. I will let them introduce themselves.
Hi, my name is Akash Bhalirao. I'm a senior at the University of Iowa studying social entrepreneurship and environmental restoration through the Interdepartmental Studies program. And I'm an international student from Pune, India.
Hi, my name is Clarice Chia. I'm from Penang, Malaysia, and currently I'm a senior, double majoring in math and actuarial science with a minor in computer science.
Hey, my name is Bings Chen. I'm from Shanghai, China. I'm a junior, and my major is house promotion for nursing.
Hey, my name is Fei Zhang, and I'm from China, Shanghai, and my major business analytics and finance.
Awesome. So for today, we are going to learn about the Pick 1 involvement opportunities at Iowa, and then we'll have so wonderful current international students to share their involvement experience with us. And then at the end, we will also have some time to kind of bring all the different involvement experience together to talk more about how the involvement experience contribute to their undergraduate experience. And then as I said, we will have some Q&A time at the end. So now let's start with the Iowa Challenge. So as a University of Iowa students, you will become part of the Hawkeye family, and students and alumni transformed by their experiences at Iowa. The university asks you to follow their example to rise to these challenges in these following 5 categories: excel, stretch, engage, choose, and serve. You will learn more about them when you get to campus, but today we are going to focus on the engage part of the Iowa Challenge, which ties into what we are discussing today about on involvement. So you will become a more successful student if you participate in something that matters to you and enjoyable for you. The University of Iowa offers a lot of opportunities for you and also resources for you to become a leader in and out of the classroom. I definitely encourage you to take advantage of them and really make this a unique experience for you. And because we know that the involvement part would help students to really develop as a leader and as a citizen and a student as well. So we created something called the Pick One campaign to encourage first year students to pick at least one involvement to really participate in during the first year when they're at Iowa. And we will talk about the different categories one by one next. So first category, academics and honors. There are a broad range of students' organizations related to academics that you can participate in. There are also organizations and honor societies within your college. There are a lot of activities within the University of Iowa Honors Program. You can do research, study abroad as an undergraduate student. There are also staff positions in academic programs and offices that you can get involved in, for example, honor peer advisor, engineering peer advisor, etc. So I know that among our group, we have a few students actually have some of those experiences. Do you mind sharing some of yours?
Sure, you can go first.
Yeah, so I'm Clarice, and so with regards to this, I'm currently a research assistant through the mathematics department, and we're working with the orthopedics department at the hospital and clinics that's affiliated with the university. Right now, what I'm doing is I'm helping with research on cancer cells and their effects on kidney function. And I mean, this is a really easy process. All I did was reach out to the professor involved to see if there was any opportunities available, and that's how I got involved, and I really like it.
Since I'm business major, so basically most of my time I spend on the TP College of Business, and I'm pursuing my honor degree when I was graduating. So once you meet the requirement, you can just automatically get into the honor program in the University of Iowa. And also I participate in the study abroad program, which is very, very unique experience for me when I spend my college life in here, because you have the chance to see other worlds. I went to Argentina. It was totally different country. I've never been to South America, and I just learned a lot and learned some Argentinian Spanish there. So I would highly recommend you to do some study abroad. And in the TP College of Business, they provide the chamber. It's a study abroad program to Italy, and you will have a chance to take a tour to other countries in Europe. Yep, that would be awesome experience.
Yeah, so as an international student, even though you're studying abroad here in the US, you definitely still have the opportunity to go somewhere else within your major field of studies. So next, we will talk about employments. There are a lot of job opportunities on campus that are available to students. For example, in the recreation services, in IMU, University Housing and Dining, even within ISSS. As an international student, you do have the opportunity. You definitely should take advantage of the on-campus employment opportunity, and you can work up to 20 hours per week. And how you're going to find out about the employment opportunity is to go to the HiHop system, and you will learn more about that when you get to campus. But I think almost everyone in the room actually have some employment experience. So do you want to share some of your experiences? Do you want to start?
Cool. I've had a multiple variety of employment experiences on campus. I was like, what's the word? I have gotten an opportunity to be a resident assistant in the residence halls, where I help new students transition to campus, be connected to resources on campus, and help them navigate through like that stressful transition phase from high school to university. It's like a big change. I also got an opportunity to do research in an atmospheric chemistry lab for a year and a half. So that was another one of my employment opportunities. Really what taught me a lot of things like accountability and like science and the research process and all of that.
So over the past 4 years, I've worked for multiple departments in the university as well. For my first year, I worked for the University Housing and Dining, and then I worked for the ISSS here. Later, I worked for the Recreational Services, and finally now I'm working at the Math department as a research assistant. So I think all in all, what I can say is that there is a huge variety of opportunities out there, and there are all these opportunities that could cater to what you're looking for in a, I guess, on-campus employment.
Okay, so I work at a so right now I'm working at the University of Iowa Hospital and Clinic as oncology nursing assistant. So before that, but I work as a flow nursing assistant. It really helped me to like broaden up my views and then see like what kind of like I want to do healthcare, and then so it's like a good experience to get into the healthcare field and see what kind of like part I want to go to. So yeah, it's a pretty good experience to work. Yeah.
Okay. So I working in the University of Iowa about 2 jobs. One is in the dining hall, and the second one is I work for the UI hospital and clinics, but I work in the backup department, like doing some mailing and patient billings. And that work is like, it's my first real job, like in the real building. And it's very, I mean, it's a very unique experience for me because I've never worked in part-time before when I was in China. And also, there is some resource for you to find a part-time jobs in campus. There is a part-time job fair. Like every semester, they will hold before the job fair. And you can easily find part-time jobs you want. And just remember, don't work over 20 hours. They won't pay you for the overtime.
Yeah, so I guess like everyone said, there's opportunities that you can find in campus employment that is related to your field of study, and there are also opportunities available that are not related to your field of studies. We say both would help you learn some different skills. So definitely take advantage of those. Next, fraternity and sorority life. So fraternity and sorority here at the University of Iowa celebrates over 150 years of history on the campus. There are actually quite a few chapters that started at Iowa. Fraternity and sorority are kind of built upon scholarship, friendship, service, and leaderships. In spring 2016, there are a little over 3,800 members in fraternity and sorority committee. So that takes up about 16% of the undergrad populations. So Vince, I know that you are in a fraternity. Do you want to share some of your experience?
So this semester, late last year, I joined Delta Sigma Phi. It's a new chapter on campus. Like fraternity sorority is just a group of like guys or girls head together, and then they share their brotherhood and sisterhood. But alongside, we do all the other like services and then like volunteers, and then so it's not like only like a single like organization, but we like do a lot more stuff to like benefit the communities and benefit the like our brothers and then like people around us. And yeah, so it's just a very I don't know what I say, like
Unique experience.
Unique experience. It's very like just a lot of things can go on in there. So
Yeah, definitely. And different chapters also have different themes that they are kind of focusing on. So if you're interested in fraternity and sorority life, you'll be able to learn more in your Success at Iowa course, but you will definitely learn a lot more about them when you get to campus. Okay, so next is intramural and sports clubs. We have over 35 intramural programs on campus. It's the same fee for all sports. You can either sign up with friends or you can be a free agent. It's a pretty easy sign up process. And then there are also over 40 sports clubs on campus as well. We have really great recreational facilities. The most well-known one is probably the Field House and also the CRWC. But you can definitely learn more on the website to find out more about the facilities, the intramural and sports clubs. But Clarice, I know that you have some experience in this area. Can you share a little bit?
Yeah, I do. So I was a member of the Women's Ultimate Frisbee team for a little over 2 years. And through my experiences there, I was able to, I guess, first learn how to play Ultimate Frisbee. And I was also able to make a lot of really good friends. And two of my roommates right now, I have actually met through the team. And I guess another thing that was really important to me that I did not expect going into joining the team is that I also got to travel a lot just within the US. And I've been to over 10 states just with traveling with the team to compete. But yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, so intramural and sports clubs is definitely a way to stay active and also get involved and meet new people on campus as well. So now next is leadership and strength. So this is another really big part of the involvement piece. The Be Better initiative at Iowa helps undergrad students to develop as students, as leaders, citizens, and employees by supporting their personal pathway to leadership and success in and out of the classroom. All incoming undergrad students are going to take a course called Success at Iowa, and you take the strength assessment within that class to learn more about your own strength and how to use them in and out of the classrooms. There are also a lot of academic courses on leadership if you're interested in learning more about them. There, outside of classes, there's also workshops, retreats, institutes that you can participate in and learn more about becoming a leader, such as the Leadership Iowa, My Iowa, and a lot of the strengths-based workshop. So, Akash, I know that you have a lot of experience in this area. Do you mind to share some of yours?
In terms of leadership experiences, I've gotten to be involved with student organizations and gain leadership experience through my jobs and also by attending leadership conferences like Leadership. Leadership is like a 7-day retreat where 54 students from the university, along with a few staff members, go to a campsite, and you basically live there and learn about yourself and each other and just leadership as a whole, and look at how people's leadership styles can complement each other. In terms of my student org experience, I got an opportunity to be the executive director of Homecoming, and through that I got to help run the largest running tradition at the University of Iowa, which is like a week full of events for student, staff, faculty, alumni, and community to come together and celebrate being the Hawkeye, basically a part of the University of Iowa. So that really challenged me to grow out of my comfort zone as I had to lead that team. And lastly, through my resident assistant job, a lot of it is leadership development and helping new students believe in themselves, get involved, and really craft their own path as they advance through their journey at Iowa.
Awesome. So next category is multicultural activities. There are over 100 multicultural student organizations on campus that you can participate in. Some of them are related to specific population, and some of them are different themes. And then there are also the culture and resource centers on campus that provide a home away for some of our students. annual events and cultural heritage celebration months are also happening around campus during different times of the year that celebrates different themes or cultures. For example, such as the MLK Day of Service, Powwow, talent show, culture ball, and all the different cultural heritage months. There are also training programs that students can participate in to learn more about intercultural competency and also learn more about how to interact with different peoples around the world, such as the bridging domestic and global diversity. Ms. Anfei, do you want to share some of your experiences?
Yeah. So in the university, you will have many chances to communicate, to build friendship with all the world, like the people from all the world. For example, I am the coordinator in the TP College International Buddy Program, which is a program to help international students to build friendship with American students. We will hold events, activities to let them know each other better and make them to build their personal relationship. So, I mean, the multicultural is a big thing in Iowa, and the students really recommended each student to go out of their comfort zone to communicate with each other. So you will learn a lot from the communications.
Yeah, I think my multicultural experiences was mostly highlighted when I served as a member in the International Student Advisory Board. So what that means is that with the support of both the graduate and undergraduate student government, we kind of advocate for the international student body and their voices by working with various departments at the university and providing suggestions to these departments to kind of better the lives for international students here at Iowa.
Great. So next category is performing arts. There are a lot of, and this is actually something that Iowa is really well known for. There are many student organizations related to performing arts, and then there are also sample auditions that you can audition for, like orchestra, band, and a lot of other things. And then the Department of Dance also have a lot of performance opportunities. You can get involved either as a performer, or you can get involved just to attend their performance as an audience. There are a lot of entertainment or film-related organizations on campus that bring different types of entertainments to campus. For example, Scope bring in bands and artists to campus. CAP brings in different comedians, different shows to campus, and then there's also the visual that brings in like different types of films to campus. Hencher is actually an auditorium on campus, and they actually also bring in a lot of well-known artists around the world for performance that you can go and see as well. So Akash, I know that you mentioned that you have some experience in this area. Can you share some?
So my first semester, I got an opportunity to take a theater class as a general education course, and I also got involved with the theater department by being selected to be a stage manager for a production called Order Now, and I basically coordinated everything from lights and sound, and also the props on the stage and things like that, and got to work with other students. So students are basically through our theater department, it is students who direct, write, and act in plays, and also manage everything related to the plays. So it's super exciting to really put on cool performances and be involved with them.
Yeah, so definitely you can get started in some of those experiences in a class, or you can also definitely reach out as an organization or some audition for some of those opportunities. So next is student organizations. You have probably heard about some of them already throughout our presentation, but there are all over 550 registered student organizations on campus, ranging from academic-related, special interest-related, religions, political service, multicultural sports clubs, and service, and many more. You are also hall associations that you, within the residence halls that you might be staying at, that you can run for an executive role position. Really, that is a good way for you to have your voice heard and also provide some insight to improve your experience in the residence halls. And I know that actually everyone have some on the table here actually have some student organization involvement experience to share. Anyone want to start?
Okay, I'm currently the co-president of Net Impact U Iowa. It is an organization within the Tippie College of Business that helps spread awareness about sustainability and social justice in the business world. I also have been involved with the Environmental Coalition since my freshman year, and I served as the lecture series liaison for 2 years, through which I worked on organizing lectures to bring in professionals from different fields like business, law, nonprofits, and for them to come and talk about how environmental issues relate with their field.
Yeah, I think one of the most, I guess one of the first organizations that I got involved with was the Malaysian Student Society here at the University of Iowa, and I think that really helped me transition to university life here, because I was able to reach out to them on the basis of similar heritage, and through that they, kind of helped me, whether it's picking me up from the airport, which is also a service that's available by ISSS, but just having friends prior to even getting to campus was really helpful.
So I'm doing Dance Marathon for the last like 3 years. So Dance Marathon is the biggest organization on campus, and last year there was almost 3,000 students participating in Dance Marathon, and then we raised more than $3 million last year. Generally, totally we raised $24 million for 24 years. So Dance Marathon is organization running by students and raising money for pediatric children and their families at a University Children's Hospital. The whole year we have to, each dancer, we raise $500 to reach the big event, which is happen in February, and the dancer will stay up for 24 hours with no sleep, no sitting, and no caffeine, just to show our motivation and power that and then to the kids they can fight against the cancer too. So they have organization provides so many opportunities for students. You can have build up friendship with people, and then you can also find leadership in there. Last year I'm a moral captain assistant, which is a group leader assistant. What I do is just helping students to raise monies, and I also find the reason why they want to do Dance Marathon. And this year I'm on operation committee. We do how to run the big event, to do the things, all the drawing stuff for the things, and then we do sustainability to reduce the carbon output throughout the whole year. So.
Okay, yeah, I will share some of my experience as the president of Greater China Business Association. I was the president, and in university, in each college, you can find multiple organizations which you can participate in and join them if you are interested in them. And I believe every organization has their position open every semester or every year, and you will have the chance to apply for any position in the organizations, which is a good way to improve your leadership skills. And as the president in the Greater China Business Association, it really improved my leadership because you have to organize all the events to do the raise your fund for your organization, to coordinate with the executive board, with the members. There's many work to do. Also, you have to balance the study and the organizations, which will it's a very important skills in your future life, which called like multitask skills. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So there are a lot of things that you can learn through participating in the organization, and definitely take advantage of that. So next but not least, is our service part. There are a lot of opportunities that you can participate in terms of service and volunteering. And for now, I guess the biggest and also the most structured one is through the Hawkeye service teams. So basically, that is a course that provided for students to participate in, to go to a trip at different places in the US. That's why it's called Alternative Spring Break. But each team will have a theme, and then you will, through participating in the Hawkeye Service team, you will get to learn the different topics through community engagement at different places in the US. It's also volunteer fair that you can learn more about more local volunteering opportunities here in near Iowa City. There are also service-focused organizations such as Dance Marathon, Student United Ways, and Food Pantry that you can participate in. There are also service and programs that you can participate in as well. I know that there's a few people here also have similar experience in this category that you can share. Clarice, do you want to start?
Yeah, so there are more organized ways to get involved in volunteering, like Lynn just mentioned. The way I kind of found my kind of volunteering experience was pretty indirect. So currently I'm volunteering in the greenhouse through the biology department. And there, all I do is kind of just propagate or just tend to succulents. And it was a pretty easy process for me to get involved. I just kind of reached out to the greenhouse manager and had a pretty short and quick chat with him. And yeah, that's how I got involved.
Do you want to share the hospital volunteering?
So the University of Iowa Hospital Clinics offers volunteer services to units. It's not a big commitment, but it's still like weekly commitment to do like 3 hours volunteer every week, or usually do just like helping like the nursing clerks with patients like questions, and then helping like nursing assistant with like just some basic like skills you can learn. It's a really good way to you can take like turns to the units, so each semester, so you can probably figure out like which is the best like unit you want to do. And then if you're in healthcare field, you might like I want to be a nurse, so I'm count down to like I go down to like oncology, and that's the unit I want to do. So that's like a very helpful way to like make sure like you're going the correct way.
Yeah, so there's definitely different ways to get involved in the service part. All right, so before we go into the Q&A, I do have some questions for these for students here to kind of wrap it up. Yeah, and wrap it up, and then to talk about how did they get started, and then what are the important things to learn. So Akash, do you want to start with that?
Yeah, sure. I remember that day, 16th August 2014 was when I came to the University of Iowa, and at that time I knew I needed to get involved, because for me personally it just did not make sense to be an international student, travel halfway across the world, and come to a new place and not try to get involved, because I knew no one in Iowa City, so I really needed to like start ground up, and I decided to get involved. I joined a couple of environmental groups, and I also stopped by the chemistry department and spoke to them about getting a lab assistant position, and I actually got it. So I got a campus job within my first month at the university, and really one involvement led to the other, and people just kept sending opportunities with me. Basically, like if you ask for help, people will help you, and they'll connect you with different resources. You just have to ask for it, like Dumbledore says. And also, many times it's also that the student organizations are looking for you before you start looking out for them, because they want to get involved, and they want you to get involved and grow their member base. Also, the most important things I've learned from my involvement experiences and working on campus include basically just like valuing relationships and people for who they are before anything else, like making sure that you're making friends and connecting with people just because they're people, rather than looking at their resume and things like that. Like the relationships are the biggest thing I'm taking out of my college career at Iowa, and I encourage you to get involved whenever you get to campus.
Clarice, do you want to go next?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with everything Akash said. I think for me, coming from a really small high school, getting involved was also something that was pretty, something that I really wanted to do coming into Iowa City. And I, just like what he said, I think that the opportunities are out there, whether or not you look for them, you'll find them. And I think that some of the most important things to get out of it is definitely the relationship building stuff. It's, it helps you learn how to kind of interact with people outside of the classroom environment. You get to meet a lot of people who care about the same things that you do. And I think that going beyond just academics, when you're looking into the future, if you're applying for jobs, graduate schools, your GPA is not going to be the only thing that they look at. It's your involvement in campus, how you work with other people. Those are important qualities that will bring you pretty far beyond college.
Like, I decided to get more involved. It's like I coming from a school like more focused on like academic part, so I don't have like really more like a chances to see what's my like advantage is at besides academic. So like when I first come here, it's like people just do recruitment. I was like, yeah, sure, why not just try something? So I got into Bridges, and then Bridges do the involvement, recruitments on streets. So I was like, it's really easy to get involved into like a organization, because all that organization will do recruitments all semester, and then they will do like recruitments like in the buildings or on the street. So it's really easy to find, and we have organization fair, so you can just walk in and talk to the people about like what they really do, and then if you have any question, they can help you. The most important thing like I have learned from the experience is like probably the dedication, my passion, like really want to do, and I will like focus like what I love to do. So it just helped me to clear my view, like, oh, something like I'm good at, something like I'm like really passionate for.
Right. They basically told you all. Okay. I think when I came here, at the beginning, I decided to get involved in the college life because I don't want my life just focus on academic, because academic is not all. You have to explore like thousands of things you could do here. There's those things you cannot do, just you don't know how to do or where to do it. And university provides resources and stages for you to experience those activities. Like, for instance, at the organization fair is a good way for you to explore like what you are interested in, and you can join them, and you will make friends with members in there. And those friendships will last forever, like in your life. And maybe you can go back to like your original countries. You can still remember the good memory you had in the United States. I think this is very important.
Yeah, so I guess like everyone said that involvement is definitely a really important part of undergrad experience here. It get you connected to people, and then and also develop a lot of skills that are outside of classroom. It might also help you to find your passion and your career, and some of them will actually become a career path. So definitely taking advantage of the involvement opportunities on campus. And we have next is our time for question and answer. We do have some time for answering a few questions.
And we have a number of questions already, but I just want to remind everyone to please type your questions using the Q&A function so that we can answer them for everyone who's listening. Our first question has to do with fraternities and sororities. The person who asks does not have that concept in their country, and so they want to know more about what it means and how they can join.
So for fraternity and sorority, it's basically organizations that are there to help build brotherhood and sisterhood. There are different ways that you can get to know about them even before you come here. There's a website that you can find, is fsl.uiowa.edu, that you can learn more about them. For all undergrad students, you will also take a class called Success at Iowa and learn a little more about fraternity and sorority life. I believe for the fraternity and sorority, they have Rush.
Yeah, they have Rush, and they have like they will hold fraternity sorority like fair before the Rush, so people can walk in to the, it will be in the IMEO, and then people just walk to the table like a station, and then if you have questions about like what they really do, or like what kind of fraternity, like what that fraternity really like aim for, like other like volunteer opportunities, philanthropies, and then they will help you, and then you can just, and then they will hold like social like Rush like days, like social days, so you can just talk to, they will usually do like in some like place like houses or like restaurants, so they will have the brothers in there, and then you can walk in and talk to them, and then see if there's really like you really like that fraternity or not. And also there's like other fraternities, like some fraternity we have like academic fraternities, so like chemistry, if you're really good at chemistry, you can do that fraternity, and then we have honor program fraternities too. So
Okay. Our next question has to do with intramurals and sports clubs. The question is, what different sports can I join, and is there a list?
There is a list out there. I'm sure if you type a quick Google, if you're interested in more low time commitment options, there are the Intramurals. If you're looking for something a little more challenging, you can probably do a quick Google search, UISSS sport clubs, and you could probably find it. It's somewhere out there. But yeah.
Great. This next question is from somebody who wants to know how they can balance being active outside classes and still getting good results, good grades.
Yeah, I think one of the main things is to kind of find out, I guess first of all, know what good grades mean to you. And then from that, kind of set your own goals, set your own priorities. If you think that getting involved is more important, some people might think that. Some people might think that getting good grades is more important. So kind of set your priorities, like I said, and then a lot of times, even when you get involved, even if when you think there's more on your plate than you can probably handle, the human body and mind is an amazing thing. You will probably end up managing it. But of course, if you find that there's too much on your plate, student organizations are flexible. You're not signing any contracts. You can come and go as you wish, but yeah, definitely always keep in mind that, you know, school is there. It's more permanent, but student orgs, you can come and go.
Yeah, I want to just say one more thing. I think there's one thing I learned from this year's I've been here, like I balance my study and my activities work outside of the academic. Just finish your homework before the due date. Like as soon as possible you get the homework, just finish it. And you will have a bunch of the free time to do things. And if you cannot handle, if you have too much at hand, for example, I remember there's one semester I had student org, I had part-time job, I have a program is running on, I have like 16 credit hours, and I had a girlfriend. So there's no way for me to spend my day on all of these things. So you have to give up something. So, you know, you just cannot split yourself to two parts. You have to give up something. You should know what to give up and when to give up.
So I guess kind of adding on to what they said, definitely planning ahead is a really important skill that you will really need to learn if that is not what you are currently good at. And I would say there are a lot of people on campus that you can talk to about time management, and because this is definitely something that everyone is dealing with as an undergrad student and also as professional as they're working here. So talk to some of your friends, because this is something that everyone is learning as they're going through their college experience. Also talk to staff and faculty members that you are connected to. They will be really great resource for you to talk about how to manage your time as well.
I think that answers this next question, which is, can freshmen get involved in multiple organizations? Can they do a part-time job on campus and join a sports club at the same time, or is it just one involvement at a time? And I can say yes, you can do multiple things. It's possible, but it can be difficult. So you just have to be careful about managing your time effectively.
Yeah, I would add to that, know your limits and know when to say no. If you feel like it's getting too much, then it might be a good idea to just talk to the groups that you are in and let them know that it's a lot for you, and then you might need to withdraw. But there isn't any restriction on how many involvement that you can get involved in or should get involved in.
And here's another very good question. Can I get involved in organizations that are not part of the university? Specifically, this person is interested in care for older people.
Yes, to some degree. I would say, at least for this particular topic, usually you get some information from the service part of the Tech 1 category that we talk about. There are the senior centers here in the community that will always look for volunteers, and usually students first sign up and get involved through volunteering, the volunteer fair, or organizations that are out there to focus on volunteering and services. And then there will be ways for you to become members of those groups outside of the campus afterwards, but usually it's through some campus connection that people first find out about these opportunities.
This is a good question for everybody. Who do you reach out to when you have doubts about things in general, whether it's involvement or just anything? Who are you reaching out to when you need help with life on campus?
I think that varies on what your problems are. If I have personal problems with my boyfriend or my friends, I'm not going to go to my math professor, you know. But if I do have a math problem, he'd be the perfect person to go to. There are services out there. There's university counseling services. If you have, you know, problems that you're facing and you want someone to talk to, that is a good resource. Otherwise, sometimes just talking things out with your friends, your family members, if you don't mind them knowing, those are also really good resources. But I'm sure that my peers have more to add on.
Because I'm in a fraternity and also like a big, like a large organization. So when I have like troubles with my school, my life, I will just usually turn back to my friends, you know, like they probably have the same situation and same problems, and they probably have went through too. So, and also like my organization, the Marathon, we have like a kind of like advisor who can like help us to like manage the academic studies and also the life problems still. And there's like a lot of resources on campus, like what that can help, like university counseling office can, if you have anything any personal difficulties, they can just help you, they can just let you sit down and like a personal talk, and then help you to find solutions.
Okay.
A few more questions here. What's the best way to find leadership possibilities in student organizations?
If you want to find the leadership, you have to join an organization and stay there for a certain period. There's no way for them to give you a leadership position just at once you join them. So you have to be there and show you have the ability to take some leadership position. You can experience your leadership skills there and say, I want to apply for this position. And most of the organizations have the election at the end of the semester. So you can show your ability and tell your members that I'm the right person for the position.
I think to add to what Faye said, it really depends on what student organization you're looking at. I know that at least for me, I am in the actuarial science club, and for that club, it's academic and very almost major specific. So for that club, we had a position available, and it was called the freshman ambassador. So I think in terms of getting a position, well, first it has to be available. And when you're applying, when you're trying to attain that position, I think that one thing that you will have to demonstrate is that it's something that you are able to commit to and you are able to perform. And yeah, I think that at the end of the day, there's no harm in applying if it's out there. The worst you're going to do is spend like maybe 20 minutes or more with your application and not get anything out of it. The most you can get out of it, I mean, I can't even speak for it because it's just up to you and what you make out of it.
Okay. We've got another question here, or did you have something to add? Okay. So this person is a member of a dance group at home, and they want to know if there's any dance groups at the university that they can be a member of, and what dance events might exist at the university.
So there are actually a lot, depending on whether you are interested in student organizations or kind of through dance department. Dance department has a lot of opportunities. Some would need to audition for, and some would need you to be in certain classes to be a part of, or if you are majoring in dance, that would automatically be some opportunities there. If you're interested in just joining a student org that focusing on dancing, there's quite a few on campus, such as know that there's 1 or 2 for the Chinese one, and then there's an Indian fusion one, and then there's an Iowa dance team, and then there's cheerleading team. These are the few ones that are, I guess, for now, more well-known on campus, and also the UI breakers. I would say, and they are all, majority of them are all going to be at the organization fairs at the beginning of the semester. So if you go to the fair and then talk to them, you'll be able to figure out which one would be one that you're interested in.
Okay, then I think we have one last question, and that one is, you mentioned career when I join organizations. Can somebody help me discuss my career? And in addition to that, the question is, can I get, if I want to get an internship during the break, what steps should I take?
Yes, so I can answer this question. So there is a career center on campus, or there are multiple career centers on campus that you can take advantage of learning more about how your involvement experience tie into your career path. ISSS also partner with the Prominence Career Center to offer some workshop during the year that you can learn more as well. I would say, if you're interested in exploring your careers early, definitely visit the career centers to learn more about it.
And I'll just add that if you want to get an internship, you will need to apply for permission. It's not something that you can do unless you talk to ISSS. And so there's special permission you would need to get to do that. I think we have a session on employment coming up. When is that, Lynn?
April 27th.
So if you're interested in internships or questions about jobs, please attend the webinar on April 27th.
And this is actually on our next slide. So this is our full schedule for all the webinars. The next one's coming up is on international student employment. Definitely encourage you to stay tuned to that. It's the same time for this one as this one. And then before we leave for today, I also want to encourage you to take the survey that Michael posted on the chat, in the chat that will provide us some feedback to help us improve the webinar series for the future. Thank you so much for participating.